my thoughts on the game was, number one, we needed this type of game. This is great for our team if we handle it the right way, give us a chance to grow. We were out tough today. I thought that it had that lack of toughness that we displayed affected our execution. I didn't think we executed very well. I thought they took us out of our rhythm. Thought they were much more physical than we were. And then obviously continuing to try to develop our rotation and what we're going to do with that as we try to figure that out. Obviously when you're at December 15th, you're usually, starting to really get some traction there. But without the scrimmages, exhibition games, 2 quarantines, we're still trying to figure that out. So that piece was pretty evident today. And then I think our teamism can be better. I thought when we got hit in the mouth, from a response standpoint, I didn't think we were as physical as we needed to be. And, I saw some guys that, looked like they lost their dog, or, they've got to be able to handle that better and be able to move on to the next play better, have a next play mentality. I thought this was really good for us, though, because we got punched in the mouth, and it's going to give us a chance to, really learn what we have here and grow and get better. We were obviously beyond challenged today with their size, their physicality, and the toughness that they displayed that took us out of most of what we wanted to do. Yeah, I don't know if I can put a percentage on that. What I will say, and I could be wrong, but I think it was Calipari who said it this week, the most challenging thing about this is I think it's even harder on teams that have a lot of newcomers or guys that are playing different roles than they ever have previously, and then you add some newcomers. The veteran teams, and give St. Bonaventure credit, they've also come out of a quarantine. They have not played until today, so I want to give Coach Smith and their crew credit, but the reality is they returned their top 6 players and all 5 starters. So you're right, George, there is a part to that. I don't know what number or percentage to put on that, but it is what it is. We're not going to make any excuses. We're not going to complain about it. I told the guys that. It is what it is. We've got to get a lot better. And if we use this game in the right way, I think it can really help us long term.
That being said, and mind you, couple that with your youth, the lack of experience playing together. I think that's the best way to put it, because you've got a couple seniors there. It's like, I'll be point blank. It's like the only way I can write this is say this is going to be what you said, a learning experience, a growing experience. This is a work in progress right now.
Oh, there's no question. And we get a chance, you and I talked about it, with the type of people we're playing throughout this month, and including, obviously, January 1st as part of the next couple weeks here, whether it's St. Bonaventure, it's Kent State in a rivalry game next. We're going to be challenged at a really high level. And, today we weren't very good. But, we've got to take it one day at a time, figure out ways to find solutions and try to get better. But we, in some ways, needed this today to kind of teach us where we really are right now. Obviously, the guys can always hear my voice and the assistants' voices, and we can point out things in practice, and we show them practice clips and all those different things. But sometimes, George, you have to pee on the electric fence. You have to, just part of the deal. Like Mark Twain, I think it's his quote, said you can learn by seeing and doing and, but you can also, and listening, but you can also maybe learn best at times by peeing on the electric fence. And so, today wasn't overly enjoyable for our guys. I'm sure they, obviously they know that I told them after the game, we need to be tougher. We need to execute better. We can play better than what we're playing. Our teamism has to be better. We've got to figure out some of our rotations. And, we are a work in progress. I knew that before the game tipped. So this is a part of the process for us and a part of our journey with this team in this particular year and this particular environment that we're in. And we got to make the most of it each day. But like I said, I think we needed this. And as long as we're willing to learn from it and own everything about it and not make excuses, then I think it can be beneficial for us.
That being said, there's some stuff that is very much inexcusable in this loss. 17 turnovers is one of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are generally mental errors, as if, they're not dialed in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would say part of it was execution, George. And then, the one thing is I thought coming off of Saturday that our cardio or lack thereof would be a little bit more of a factor. I did not feel that way necessarily watching the game today. I agree with you. I think a lot of those turnovers were unforced and sloppy. Mark does a good job with his team, and they do a lot of things really well. But their scheme over the years has not been to force necessarily a ton of turnovers if you look at them statistically. So 17 for us today is, you're right, it's not good enough. It's we got to be a lot better. And I would say at least half of them were sloppiness on our part, lack of execution. 3 times, George, they just took the ball right out of our hands. And that's unacceptable. That's just not being tough enough with the ball. But, yeah, we've got – that's certainly one of the areas that was glaring today that we've got to clean up.
That being said, you've always, when we've talked, you've always said defense is, and every coach I've talked to has always said defense is a matter of want to. 56 points in the paint today, you guys gave up defensively. How do you go about cleaning that up? And what did you say to these guys about that, if anything?
Yeah, no, at halftime, my 2 biggest concerns were our lack of toughness at both ends of the floor. And then my second concern, I gave them 3 things, actually. My second concern was the amount of paint shots and layups that they shot in the first half. They had 28 of them to our 9 in the paint and the layups that we were generating. And then third, and you just touched on it, was our poor decision-making and turnovers. So it was really those 3 things we talked about at halftime, trying to get cleaned up for the second half. But you're right, I'm very concerned about that, especially when we were trying to take that away. It'd be one thing if we were trying to take away the 3-point line, super-duper heavy, and had everything schemed centered around that. Then you might give up a little bit more in the paint by robbing Peter to pay Paul. Today, that was not the case. And so when I tell you that makes it even more concerning for me that we gave up that much in the paint when that was a point of emphasis to keep our defense tight and protect the paint coming into the game today.